I am nearly done with my bed throw. Well, that is making all the pieces that I then have to stitch together to complete it. I have this one and 1, 2, 3 left to put together to make one of these. All up, I've made 8 of these lengths or panels that I have to then stitch together, and they're not all in the same color. There's a variety that you'll see, but this is the last one. It has taken me over 2 months, I think, to get here. It takes hours, at least 1.5 hours to do one ball to make this much. So once I get it all done, I'll show you all the colors I've got together, and then it'll be stitching time. So the stitch I'm using for this project is the basket weave, which gives it the left and right, like vertical and horizontal lines. If you know what you just do it over and over again, and that's what all of my individual 8 panels are made out of. Now to repeat these rows 50,000 more times, and then I'm done. So along the process, you get these little ends where you've ended one ball of yarn and then joined another together. So you just weave it in like you would with any other crochet project, using what I think is a darning needle. But yeah, it's a bit of a process when you have all these little ends left, and I don't enjoy it, but it has to be done. And now to lay it all out on the floor to see how I like the look of it, and you get to see all the panels that will be the completed product once they're all stitched together. Yes, they do look wonky and out of line, and I'm going to probably point that out with my finger in the next clip. So that one I'm pointing at now is the very first one I did, and it's wider at the bottom because I didn't have my tension that tight. So I'm hoping that won't be a problem for the final result. And the black one and the one beside it on each side, the red and blue, they are the most recent ones I did, and they were a different brand of yarn, and I also did them a little bit tighter. So let's see how it goes. When I'm stitching these pieces together, I'm using a stitch marker to hold them together, and there you go, there's my needle. So I'm using stitch markers just to hold it still for me, to align all of the horizontal and vertical stitches, just to try and get it looking even. That is how I want it to look, but it didn't always turn out that way. So the stitch I used to join it, I'm pretty sure is called the mattress stitch. If you're not sure, you can look it up yourself to see if I'm right. But I just do like a granny knot at the start of it, and then I start my weaving in and out to hold it all together. And I just take, so the black yarn that I'm using to stitch it together, I at least make it as long as the actual product that I want to stitch together, and then a bit more so I don't run out. All of them stitched together. Now to put the black in the middle of both, like how I laid it out on the floor. And here we go, I'm on the last round. No point in talking for the rest of it, I'll just speed it up and you can see the process. Finally! Over 2 months to do. Couldn't even count the hours, but probably at least 50 hours. Probably more, 50 hours. Maybe 150 at least dollars in price to make for the balls. But here is my throw. It's not an actual, it's never meant to be a proper blanket. It's to be a pretty thing on the end of the bed. But my problem is it's probably too pretty now for me to use, which I felt for a while. Because honestly, I don't know. You'd have to hand wash it. It weighs a ton already. I think it's got to at least be 5 kilos. It's just super weighty, but really soft. But anyway, I finally finished it. It's the biggest thing I've ever made. I'm happy to be done. I'm a bit sad that it's over, but I actually couldn't wait for it to be over too because, it's been a while. So there you go, my crochet bed throw.
Can't end it without showing you how big it is on me.
Oh, so heavy. So heavy. So fluffy. It's actually a really cozy little blanket. Yay! Go me!